This is kind of an ode to my hair, I guess. I used to have a lot of hair, and I miss it. When I was a teenager, I had really, really long hair, really thick. You know, I played in a bunch of rock bands. I played drums. I loved it. I loved having long hair. It's back in the 70s, you know. Here's a horrifying picture of me. This is the only one I could find, really, though, that shows me with long hair. There's not a whole lot of evidence of those days anymore. So anyway, when I got to be like, I think 19, I was turning into a drunk. I wasn't happy playing. I felt like playing drums in a rock band was kind of two-dimensional. I really did. I don't feel that way anymore, but I did, and I just would get drunk playing out, and it got bad. And I finally just decided I was going to do something different. I was going to do theater. It's a long story. I'll make it real short. I decided to do theater instead. Gave up the drums for 25 years. I've only had a drum set again for like the last 4 or 5 years, 4 years I think. And it was a smart move at the time. It was a smart move. It really was. But my hair, what reminded me of this is my wife bought some Prel shampoo. You remember that green shampoo? And I'm using it, and I even said to her, I said, God, this stuff must be like super concentrated or something, because I hardly use any, and it cleans my hair really well. Well, I figured it out. Obviously, it's because I have like 1/20th of the hair I used to have. It's real thin back, you know, it's thin everywhere. It's going away. So it reminded me of the first play I was in. I had to cut my hair. I kind of got suckered into this play. Another long story short, the director of the college I was going to, the theater director, lived right next door to me. So I helped him out with a couple plays. Well, he moved after 2 semesters, and we got a new director. So I just went in one day, my first year in college, you know, stopped in, and I said, look, I'm Dan. I'd like to offer my services. I worked on a few plays. He says, why don't you try out for the next show? We're looking for somebody. And I said, oh, no. He said, no, come on. So he talks me into coming in that Wednesday or whatever and auditioning. And I thought, well, all right, you know. So I go in there, and there's a whole class in there. And I thought it was just going to be he and I. And he said, Dan, you ready? I said, well, look, I decided against it. But if you need somebody to help, he said, sit down, come here, just sit and read it. I'm like crapping my pants, right? But I said, okay. So I go out and I read, and he gave me the role. And it turns out he just wanted me because I was tall. It was a small part. It didn't matter. But he told me that later. You know, we became really good friends. But at the time, he suckered me into it. So I had to get my hair cut, like really short. I was playing an old man in this play. I had to get really... So he told me where to go, right? And he told me which barber to ask for. I thought, okay, you know, maybe this is a great barber. He'll do a really nice job. So I go in, and it's this old guy who looks like he just got off the boat from Latvia, right? And I'm thinking, well, why did he send me here? So I say to the guy, look, I want it kind of more of a trim than a haircut. I mean, I know it's got to be over my ears, but I kind of want you to leave some of the thickness and the length. And I go on and on. He goes, and the guy says, box cut or taper? And I said, no, I just want you to trim. I keep trying to explain. He goes, box cut or taper? So I said, taper? So he just cut the crap out of my hair. Really short, right? Well, pretty much like this here. This is a show I was in, and this is shortly after the infamous haircut. That's me. And that's dyed, by the way. I don't know, you can't tell black and white, but my hair was blonde. Did I mention this? The night before I went to that barber, I lay on the living room carpeting in our parents' house, petting my hair. Petting it, because I love that long hair so much I knew it was going away. So anyway, like a year later, I had the lead role in this show, Glass Menagerie, that picture. And I had to dye my hair for that. Well, my director said, just put some sun in your hair and go sit out in the sun, you know. So I did. We're at the theater. I had like an hour and a half. I put this stuff in. I go out. I'm reading a script, right? Sit out there like 40 minutes. Nothing happened. So I sprayed some more sun in on there. Went back out for like 20 more minutes. Nothing. So I had an English class coming up, so I just soaked my head with this sun-in stuff and just went to class, you know. Well, towards the end of the class, the teacher goes, I noticed everybody's like stealing looks at me, and she finally goes, what, Dan, what's going on with your hair? And everybody laughs. I said, what? She said, it changed color. So I went in with dark brown hair. I came out with blondish orange hair, you know. Those are my theater hair stories. Those are the worst of it anyway, and I didn't even really think how to end this video except to say to my hair, I really want you back. I miss you. It's been a long time. Won't you please come back to my head?